Welcome to the Beauty of Business podcast. My name is Amy, also known as Glam Girl Amy on Instagram. I am a freelance makeup artist and graphic designer. On this podcast, I will be chatting with beauty industry professionals about their experience in business. In this episode, I am speaking with Alex Perrin, a Sydney-based makeup artist. Alex and I met a few years ago at a makeup PR event and have stayed in touch ever since. Alex has an intriguing story on how she reached the level of success in the beauty industry she has. Beginning 7 years ago, after not knowing what she wanted to do with her career for a long time, Alex now glams the faces of celebrities, models and brides, but started from just playing with makeup on herself and posting on her Instagram page. Alex not only is in high demand for makeup applications in Sydney, but she is also flown around the world for destination weddings or photo shoots. Alex talks about the moment she knew she wanted to be a makeup artist and how she launched her career as an editorial makeup artist in the competitive Australian beauty industry. So my first question for you is, you've been in the industry for over 7 years. What first attracted you to the makeup industry?
So makeup for me started at a really young age actually. So when I was growing up, my mum was really, she exposed us to like everything. So like she wanted us to do all the extra curricular things like dancing, music. We did like sport from a really young age. So I literally started doing dance from the age of like 6.
Oh wow, do you know, I did dancing as well.
Did you?
Yeah, oh I love this. Keep going, sorry.
So as like, obviously when you're doing dancing and you're performing, you have to do your makeup for all of the aesthetics.
Yes.
So literally I was playing with makeup from the age of like 7, 8 years old. Mum would buy me all those like little cases, you know, like the little cheap cases.
The little ones.
The ones with like the blue eyeshadow and like the red lipstick and the blush. And I would literally do like a full face of makeup at home.
Oh my God.
Like every weekend, I'd be there
so
just doing my makeup in my room, and it was like my little happy place. And then obviously for dancing, we would have to do, our makeup for before all the performances. And I don't know what it was. I was really good at it because I was always really creative and I loved art and design and everything like that. So I would be backstage and I'd be literally, everyone would be like, Alex, your wing liner is amazing. Can you just do mine?
Oh,
so by the age of 8, I was like bashing out wing liners backstage.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I just had a knack for it.
That is amazing.
So that was one side of it from a really young age.
Okay,
it was like how I was sort of exposed to the makeup sort of side of the makeup world.
Yeah.
And then after school, during school, I was not academic at all, just based on that alone. I was really sporty,
creative.
I was really creative, I played music, I was definitely not an academic student, which was really interesting because the school I went to was all about academics.
Oh wow, what school did you go to?
Ravenswood.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so they were really quite academic focused. They wanted people to excel with, all of their grades in like science and maths and English, and that's what they were known for. And obviously like the sports side of things was also really important, but that's what I was really good at.
Okay.
So all of my year 12 subjects were all creative based. And then, I finished school and I actually had no idea what I wanted to do. I was really unsure of what avenue I wanted to take, but I was really hell-bent on figuring out what my purpose was, my passion. So obviously university was sort of in social expectations, that's the road that you take after school.
Yeah.
To be successful in this world, you have to go to university and get your degree.
There's a lot of pressure on you to do that, yeah.
Yeah, and I just didn't understand this because that's not what I was good at. I wasn't good at studying. I really found studying difficult, and sitting down writing an essay or reading a massive book was like hell to me.
Yeah,
literally.
I totally relate to that, babe.
I just found it really hard.
Relate. Yeah.
So, I was like, this is just not going to work for me. So the other side of it as well was my family, having an ethnic background. My mum's side's Italian. My grandparents were always like, to be successful means you have to be a doctor or a lawyer or, in the medical world or anything like that. So that was sort of what was, driven into my brain, is that that's what I had to do.
Okay.
So I attempted uni. I went there for 2 weeks to do business and marketing, which is pretty ironic because I'm now running my own business and I do all my own marketing, but I didn't go to uni.
That's right.
So
isn't that so interesting? Yeah.
It's done a full circle, literally.
I love that.
So I lasted at uni for 2 weeks and I said to my dad, I'm really sorry, but I can't do this. I literally cannot see myself going through 3 years of hell, literally for me. of, you know, doing something that I just have no drive for. So I deferred and I did not look back. I was like, I definitely know I don't want to be there. I don't know what I want to do, but that's not it.
That's not you, yeah.
So then I just started working in retail. I was working at a fashion brand called Peep Toe. I don't know if you're familiar with Peep Toe.
Yeah, Peep Toe. Yeah.
Started working at Peep Toe, which was a really like girly, glam environment.
Yep.
Everyone was dressed up every day, would wear heels to work. In the stores, we were decked out in jewelry, full glam. And that was like my life for 3 years. So wearing full glam makeup every day was like, I did a new look every day on myself.
Okay.
And it was just how it was. So then around that time, Instagram started to happen. And Marisi was like a huge inspiration for me. She was like the girl. And I was like,
really
you're
was,
amazing.
hey.
She just like had these amazing, inspiring looks. And she was, like a huge inspiration to me. So I kind of like started doing all these looks on myself and just experimenting with products. And I'd spend all my money on makeup, which was crazy because I was like working full time and everyone's like, what are you doing? Like, are you traveling? And I was like, no, I'm just buying makeup.
Babe, you actually sound like I can relate to that so much, but keep going, I won't interrupt you,
So then the store that I was working at, I then got moved to the store in Bondi Junction, and that was right next door to Mac. So I would
dangerous.
I would be at work and I would just be like, I really just want to go next door. I just want to go to Mac. I just want to be talking to them about products and I just want to try, you know, different looks and I want to buy makeup. And that was, it's all I'd get excited for being at work. Obviously I loved where I was working, but that was like, it for me.
That was where you wanted to be.
So I was talking to the girls at the Mac store and they were like, Alex, what are you doing? Like, you love it here. You're so passionate about makeup. Like, you're really good at it. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, what am I doing?
Is that funny?
And they said, like, why don't you explore the option of becoming a makeup artist? So I said to my dad, I was like, Dad, I really actually think this is a thing for me. And he had no idea what I was talking about. He's like, you're actually crazy, first of all. Second of all, not one woman in my family wears makeup. No one.
Oh, wow.
The extent of makeup in my family was lipstick.
That's so funny.
That was it. So my grandmothers were like, makeup? Like, what?
You crazy
girl.
girl.
Are you a stylist? Like, are you dressing people? And I'm like, no. The makeup on someone's face. Like, they didn't understand
the concept of
they didn't
applying
understand
it for someone. Okay, yep.
So I had to break into this whole new concept and basically educate my whole family on this as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
And what it entailed.
Yeah.
But I said to my dad, I really want to study makeup and then let's see what happens.
Okay.
So I went and my dad said, this is all up to you. You find out where you want to study. So off I went.
Has your dad been supportive? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, my dad's been amazing.
Yeah.
He's been,
sounds like you like go to your dad kind of for support and reassurance on what you should do next from what you've been saying. Yeah, that's
of
awesome.
Course.
Yeah,
because he's got a very business-minded sort of...
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I said, I'm going to go and figure it out. I'm going to find somewhere I can study and just go from there. So I went and I found a really great makeup college, which was private. It was very small and boutique. It's called Cameron Jane Makeup Design.
Okay, yeah.
And they sort of specialise. They cover everything in the diplomas and the certificates. And they have a lot of like editorial makeup artists that teach you. And it was just a really great experience for me to just sort of get the ball rolling. So off I went there, I was studying full time, and literally within 2 months of starting my course, I started working at Mecca. So I applied for Mecca and I was like Christmas casual at first. I was doing a few days in the Mossman store and then I was studying. So it was hectic and I very quickly then became an assistant manager because of my experience in retail. So then I was all like from being a Christmas casual to then helping run this business in makeup. I was studying full time.
That's amazing.
It just escalated really, really quickly. So then I ended up staying at Mecca for 3 years. And in that time, I was building up all of like my product knowledge, working in the store. I was exposed to so many different brands, practicing my craft. I was literally just doing makeup, like bums on chairs, just bashing out makeup.
Oh, wow.
So I gained so much experience and also on all ages. Like I learnt on mature skin from the beginning, which was obviously like the hardest sort of...
And what year were you working at Mecca? When did you start working at Mecca? Because it would have been... would have been when makeup really started
2013, I think,
becoming really popular.
Yeah.
Like you say, the Reezy stage. Like that's when makeup was like really Instagrammable.
It started happening then.
Yeah.
So I sort of kicked off my career in makeup as Instagram had just it was just starting. It was
So Instagram
really
was
fresh.
Oh, so Instagram was just starting, or it was just starting to recognize like the makeup industry and kind of stuff?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
More, well, yeah, the
That
makeup
kind
sort of
vibe,
side
yeah,
of it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so 3 years on from Mecca, I was a manager at that point. But I knew that there was something about this sort of path, well, this particular point in time in my career that served a purpose. So this experience of running a business could be really relevant in my future. I didn't know how, and I was like, well, the end goal for me was always to work for myself.
Yes.
So I went through it. I just did I did my best with everything. So
You obviously must have been really unnatural at the business admin side of it, and they were like,
yeah,
it's hard to find people like that are like natural at that kind of thing.
actually there were elements to it that I really enjoyed as well. So there was fulfillment on both sides, but more so obviously with the artistry.
Yeah.
So then I started to pick up a lot of my freelancing work, and I started to pursue that through like word of mouth and just like my clients and Instagram. Mm-hmm. So this is where it all started happening with Instagram.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a big turning point for me.
Okay. So with the word of mouth, how would you get the word of mouth clients to... Were they through kind of Mecca? Like you do the makeup at Mecca and then they would go be like, oh, it's Alex at Mecca, you got to get... Like, is that kind of how it would work?
That's how it starts. And I think recommendation is the most powerful, tool of gaining someone's trust to then, find you and book you in with anything, with any industry. Like word of mouth,
so valuable.
It's the most old school way of, just recognizing someone's business or advertising them in a certain way. It's like that's it. And still now to this day, it's the most powerful thing.
I agree, yeah. Like it's that lasting impression you make on one client that can actually get you a whole bunch of new potential customers.
That's right.
One person is linked and connected to so many other people.
That's right.
So each client, you need to treat them like that, like you potentially could go and tell everyone about my services.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. So from the word of mouth clients, you then began to get Instagram clients, would you say? Would you say you were advertising through Instagram?
I was trying because Instagram for me was all pretty new and I was only doing makeup on myself. Mm-hmm. So I started building my brand as me being the brand.
Yeah.
So I'd post all my makeup looks on myself, but I wasn't good. I was not good. I was like, obviously we all start somewhere, but if I look at my work now from what I was doing then, I was like, what was I doing?
Yes.
Like it's cute. You
I
just
feel
look
like
back
everyone
and you're like,
would have that
it's
kind of moment where they look at the old work
of
and they go,
course.
oh, what was that?
But that's a really important thing because then you remember where you started and it's all part of your journey in the process.
I agree. Yeah.
So
definitely.
it is really nice to sort of reflect back and go, well, that's where I began, and it's really cute, and
Totally,
obviously now it kind of brings you back down to earth. So I think that's a really nice thing as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say people were booking me through Instagram at all at that point.
It was kind of supporting your word of mouth advertising.
Exactly.
So yeah, okay, cool. And then from that moment, how would you say you kind of have grown your Instagram from there? So you've got the word of mouth clients, and is this when you then left Mecca? So this is where you
so Mecca, then I was too busy.
Okay, that's why you left Mecca, because you're too busy with your own clients.
I was too busy. I had no free time. I was working full time at the store, so like 40 hours in the week, get home exhausted, have no time to do anything else. Weekends, you'd work, say, Tuesday to Saturday or Thursday or Sunday through to Thursday. So then you have, 2 days off, and those 2 days I would be working, doing my freelancing. So so it was 7 days a week, and that hustle was literally for a good few years there. Like I did not have, I was so hungry and so passionate about starting this career and, reaching my goals and just pursuing this so fiercely that I was quite happy to be, so
super busy
and just like taking every opportunity that came my way and just meeting all these new people and just going with it. Like, while you're young, I just always remember saying to myself, like, I'm young now, like I can rest later, like just get it done. Like I've got the energy now and I can, like, I want to build and build and build and build. And that was it for me. Like that was what kept me going. That was my motivation, was myself. Like just keep hustling and just keep going.
Yeah. It's really nice that you have that natural drive. I think sometimes it's hard to be constantly motivated, but it's obviously you had a why, like you had your why, like I I know why I want to do this. This is for me.
Absolutely.
It's yeah. So that was obviously what kept you going.
Completely. And I
Yeah.
think that is a really important thing with anything that you do.
Yeah.
If you have no purpose around what you're doing, like there's no fulfillment because you're like, I'm just doing this and there's no reason why
That's
I'm doing
right.
it. If it's
And then that's when you know that it may not last as long. You know what you're trying
Correct.
to do. If you don't have the passion for it and the drive.
well, the passion will fuel your purpose.
Yeah.
So if you're passionate and you love what you do, people are drawn to that. It's the energy that you put out.
Yes.
So
I agree.
people can see that, they recognize that.
agree,
And it's like with anything. If you see someone, you're like, hear them talking about what they're doing and they're so passionate about it, you're like, I want to be there. Like, I want you to do my hair. I want you to do my makeup, or I want you to build my house. Like anything.
That's
do you know what I
right.
mean? So I think
Yeah.
that's it's really important to have that drive.
Yeah. So that's probably what your word of mouth clients could see with you is how passionate you were.
Yeah, and I think also leading back to the initial purpose of why I started this. There was a really significant moment in my life when I was in year 11 at school. We were at it was like one of those school camps you go to, and
Yes.
we had this inspirational speaker come, and he was an ex-athlete. I think he got injured, and then his career was shortly lived, and now he does inspirational speaking.
Okay. Wow.
But he said something that resonated so strongly with me, and it was something that I obviously kept forever. And he said that you should start your day doing something that you love. So for me, starting my day was doing my makeup. So that's how I start my day. Whether you starting your day doing what you love might be like spending time with your cat, or going for a walk, like, or going to the beach for a swim, like whatever it is, do that, because that's gonna start your day and that's gonna bring you joy
I love that.
from the minute
That's
that
really
you
nice.
start your day. So I was like, well, makeup for me is how I start my day, and that's what makes me feel so good. So how can I turn that into something that I can help other people with? So it was like a natural progression from that. So it's like amazing, like these little seeds that people
Stepping
plant,
stone,
like
yeah.
these stepping stones in your life, that it just all intertwine, and it all leads to like your path and your journey. It's amazing.
Oh, babe, that's so
Yeah.
amazing. Well, yeah, I definitely agree with that about the morning stuff. I think like your morning routine is like so important.
So important. Sets you
your
up.
whole day.
Yeah.
If I was to look at like for myself, moments where I used to sleep in when I was younger to like 11.
Yeah.
When you're like maybe a teenager or
Yeah.
a young adult. To now I like try and get up at like 6 a.m., 6:30 and just do a whole bunch of self-care things.
Yeah.
The difference in my day between like those two things is pretty obvious. If you're going to sleep until 11 a.m, you ain't going to get much done.
Exactly.
But yeah, the difference in my day is just insane. I get so much more done. Not only do I get so much done, but I have so much more positive thoughts that then I manifest new ideas and new,
Exactly.
in business ideas, as well as like relationships, and
Absolutely.
you have more time for people in your life. Yeah, so
Exactly.
I like that you start your day with something positive. That's such a good tip. It's so simple. Like you go, oh, it's such an aha moment. But then you think, oh, am I doing that?
Exactly.
Am I really? Am I
Exactly.
starting my day with what I love?
Exactly.
So yeah, I really do like that.
And after the makeup, it's the coffee.
That's right. Oh my
So it's
God,
like that
that's
first sip
so
of coffee
true.
is like we can do anything.
It's so true. I was actually,
Yes.
that's so true. So yeah, I love that. It's really good. I actually listened to a motivational speaker. Her name's Mel Robbins. She says, start your day by doing something for you. So it's so similar
That's
to what you
it.
just said. And
That's it.
she's like a massive motivational speaker. So
Yeah.
yeah, what you said is on point.
Exactly.
Yeah, she says her thing that she does is make her bed. It's like her
There you
thing.
go.
She makes her bed. It's so
simple.
nice. It's something for her. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Love
cool.
it.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about how you transitioned from Mecca to Instagram, and then now here you are doing like editorial makeup, working with big brands,
Yeah.
runway, and then you're also doing with all that, you're also doing all the bridal as well now. It's so hard to do both, like doing like bridal and then
Yeah.
also doing editorial, because bridal is you've got to really invest yourself, right? Mentally, emotionally.
There's a lot that goes into bridal, but we can.
Yeah, we can talk about that. And then
Go into
also,
that a bit more.
your editorial and working with brands, because that is actually really difficult industry to break into. So
Yeah.
let's talk first about how you transitioned from Mecca, you're doing word of mouth clients.
Yeah.
The Instagram, you're
Yeah.
not really liking how you used to do your makeup.
No.
yeah.
So-
So let's talk about that.
So I think the starting point with that would be that you can never stop learning. So for me, I was like, how can I extend myself to, build my skills to be better every day. So I was practicing on people. I was trying new products all the time, just figuring out what worked for me. And I think, growth it happens in time and it happens in experience.
Yep.
You're going to do things, a certain way and you might fail, but that's okay because that's going to then give you another opportunity to step into a different path, and
I agree.
things might align for you in that path, and then you can just continue growing. So failure is not a bad thing, and I failed so many times, and I look at it now and I'm like, it's actually so positive. Because
love that, yeah.
It's all interpretation as well. It's how you interpret a situation.
Would you mind, sorry to interrupt you, would you mind, it's up to you if you feel like talking about this, but maybe giving us an example of one of your failures that you've learnt from?
So I think one of the big things for me was the business side of freelancing.
Okay, yep.
So the back end of it. Like I love doing all of the artistry, but then the business side for me was a huge weakness for me. It was massive. I was like, no, I can't be bothered for it. I would leave it. I would just put it off, procrastinate.
Yeah.
And then I would obviously not get work because I wouldn't be attending to it. So that's a failure for me because like, how do you grow your business if you're not, doing everything that you need to do to then progress and grow your business?
Yes, that's right.
So I was like not really getting back to my emails as quickly as I should have been, or, just like customer service things. So yeah, they were like little failures, but then you quickly learn and you're like, no, this is actually really important because what if that was me as a customer?
Right.
So that's another really important thing is I always would, kind of like process these things and go, well, on the other end of it, what if I was in those shoes?
Yeah.
I'd be really upset if someone would get back to me reply, or, like just, those kind of like little things. I'm trying to think of other things that kind of happen that maybe we can go back to that. I'll keep thinking about that.
That's all right. We can go back to that. Yeah.
But
let's continue.
Transitioning into more of like building your business through Instagram is just consistency.
Yes.
I think consistency is a huge key to growing success through Instagram.
And yeah, you hear that a lot, and it might to people listening, they might go, well, yeah, it's
like okay,
it's so
we know that being consistent. And
I'd also say really the number one thing.
It is, and it's growing a presence on a social platform. That would be another thing, and also how you want your brand to be perceived. So, are you going to be your brand? Are you going to be? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So,
are you going to be the face of it?
Are you going to be the face of it, or are you going to be on the back end of it? Yeah. Or how do you want people to perceive you and your business? Because you could call your business something, say it's like not your name.
That's right.
And then people would be like, but we don't really know who's behind the business.
And that could be a failure for you, or it could be in your favour.
Exactly. It could be an advantage, or it could go the other way. But this is all trial and error. For me, I was like, no, I definitely want my name to be my business. Mm-hmm. People would know that they're booking me, you know? So originally, when I first started, I was posting all photos of me. Mm-hmm. And I still get people now, they're like, why don't you post any more photos of you? And it's like, well, this is how my brand has transitioned, how it's grown, how it's sort of developed. It's like it's changed now. It's completely different to when I first started. But yeah, I think the other really, really important thing is just having a really clear vision of what it is that you're trying to achieve. So what are you trying to achieve? What's your end goal? Are you wanting to work with brands? Are you wanting to create content for brands? Are you wanting to do editorial work? Are you wanting to attract more bridal? What's your vision and what's your purpose with Instagram? Are you wanting to educate people? Because that's the sort of content that you want to be putting out. So I found that as soon as I started putting out, yes, I'm doing bridal work, I would get one inquiry. Do you even do bridal makeup? Like, yes, I do. When I probably had done one wedding before. And I would you just have to get the ball rolling somewhere. Like, even if you haven't done a wedding, yes, I do bridal makeup. Like, just go with it.
Say yes.
And whether that also comes down to your self-worth. Mm-hmm. That person might see so much value in, they might love your work, but if you don't necessarily, do bridal work, it doesn't matter because they love what you're doing anyway. So they're happy to book you.
Yeah, I think what you've said there is probably going to be very valuable to people listening about who want to break into the bridal industry. So I'd love for you to maybe talk more about that because I feel the same about, I used to get asked a lot, do you even do bridal makeup?
Yeah.
I'd get that a lot. And I
Yeah.
actually had only probably done like 3 weddings, and
Yeah.
some of them I had just assisted on.
Yeah.
But I would just say yes. And,
Yeah.
and you know, you show them the work you have done.
Exactly.
And thank God that you have, like,
Yeah.
someone believed in you, that first bride believed in you.
That first bride, and I'll never forget her, because I never even assisted
Yeah.
on a wedding. I had no experience in
Yeah.
bridal at all. And she was like, Alex, do you do bridal? And I was like, yes.
And I love that you say
and this
yes.
this is like the opportunities that come, and you just have to take them. Like when you're first starting, you just have to say yes, yes, yes to everything. So with bridal,
definitely.
we'll start with bridal. That first wedding that I did, it was such a memorable experience for me, because I was like, well, this is what it's about. And it's really funny, because I remember someone saying to me a few years before this wedding, bridal makeup is stressful, it's horrible. This is an artist in the industry. She turned me off it without even having the opportunity to even try. So in my head, I was like, no, really resistant. I didn't want to even like tap into that side of the industry, just based on what she had said. So that's how, you know, it's crazy how someone can have such a strong influence on you just from words. It's like,
isn't it interesting?
it's actually crazy. And then when this opportunity came up, I was like, well, yeah, like actually, I haven't even tried it. So why am I going to say no? Just from what someone else said about their experience?
Yeah.
Let's just go. So I did. And then I loved it. I felt like I was part of the family that day. How amazing that girl felt for her wedding day. It was so fulfilling for me. And I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. I love it. I just want to be doing this now. And
I love that.
I like literally left feeling like on a high. I was like, this is a huge win for me. It was massive. I was like, my first wedding, and I was so excited. So then
That's so amazing, because, you know, you've gotten something out of the service you provided as well.
Totally.
Like, isn't that so amazing?
Yeah.
I love that.
Exactly. So then from there, it was sort of a natural progression, because I was then advertising the weddings. So her photos, I was like posting and posting and posting.
Out those photos.
Yeah, and like any content that I had from her wedding day, like I took photos from my iPhone even.
So smart.
And I was like, I'm just going to get some content because I love the work that I did, and I started posting it. So then from that, you know, I started to get more inquiries.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it as well. With if you wanted to get more into like editorial and like fashion and different avenues in the industry, it's what you're putting out that's going to attract those clients.
That's exactly
so
right.
if you want to do a certain style of makeup, you need to put that content out there, because then people know that you do it.
That's
and
right.
That's what you're bringing in. So we'll kind of like get into then the editorial side.
So I think one thing that may intimidate those wanting to get into more what you're doing with the editorial side of things and the content you're putting out, would be confidence. So, for instance, maybe I can kind of relate to this, is that that initial, to be able to create the content required to get the attention of bigger brands, like, for instance, someone like Meshki or something, or something, to get the content required to attract these brands, you need to do maybe some collab work, right? So to do collab work, you need the confidence to possibly direct message on Instagram some models.
Yes.
And I feel like some people may not have that confidence. What would be your advice for people like that are maybe like holding back on just reaching out to potential models they could do makeup on? Like, what would your advice be? I feel like it probably comes naturally to you, but for someone that's maybe got less followers or they're just starting, what would you say to kind of help motivate them to contact some people that they could collab with?
Well, I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
They're just going to say no.
That's right.
And then you just move on. Doesn't matter. Like, that's fine. You can touch base with them later on once you've maybe, you know, gotten a bit more of that experience in that sort of area of work, perhaps. I literally would just be contacting as many people as, well, the sort of aesthetic that you want to, you know, the kind of models that you want to be working with. If they're there's a certain look that you like, and like, this is the kind of work that I want to be putting out there, then just contact them. Yeah. If they say no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. You just keep trying.
Yeah. I love that. We'll probably talk more about how you got into that. So when did you kind of, the light bulb switch in your head to say, oh, I actually want to be doing more like editorial work, more work with brands? When did you have that kind of switch in your mind?
I think, look, it kind of, when it got to a certain point in my career, I was like, I'm not really busy enough. And I was like, why is this happening? And I was like, am I putting my energy in the right places? Am I actually doing the most I can to be as busy as I want to be?
Love that.
And I probably wasn't. So I was like, how can I change this?
You're checking yourself about
I was totally checking myself, and I was like, what am I doing that's wrong? Like, how can I grow my business? And then eventually step into more of, you know, doing the editorial and the fashion stuff. And I guess like a really great opportunity came forward by doing content with Natalie Ann.
Oh, awesome.
So this is it. Also, it's like the kind of people that you want to align yourself with.
Great.
And how your brands, you know, are, you know, a really good match. And, you know, working with, you know, like-minded people and a very similar aesthetic.
Perfect. Yeah.
So when you partner up with people like, you know, that are already in the industry, or, you know, they're building their business, or, you know, they're creating content, and you can do these things together, it's so much more powerful because you're in a team environment, you're creating, you're all creatives, you know, wanting to achieve the same vision.
Love that.
And that's amazing because your content is so much better.
That's so true.
It only, you know, I would attempt to do hair, you know, when I'm not like, I do hair, but I don't advertise that I do hair.
Oh wow, I didn't even know you did hair, so there you go.
For photo shoots, you kind of have to.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is the other thing, it's like extending yourself to then achieve certain skill sets that you might need to use eventually. I remember at college, I was like, I hate hair. I remember one teacher was like, Alex, can you get the rollers in? And I'd be like, yes. So I'd be there like doing the rollers, and I was like, this sucks. But little did I know that it's so relevant to now and to what I'm doing. So
it's
I've had
very
to
beneficial.
So if you know, you broaden like your horizons to different things, you don't know what you might attract.
That's so true.
So
what I've really like gotten from you is you say yes to everything, and then you work out how to execute. So you'll say yes, and then how do I execute this?
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
That's something that so many successful people do, and it just shows that that's why you've gotten to where you are.
Yeah,
you've said yes to whatever you can say yes to, and then you've executed. Like if you didn't know how to do it, you'd learn how, or you'd work it out.
You just figure it out as you go. Like even if you're like YouTubing how to do a certain hairstyle behind the scenes, like you just quickly you go to the bathroom, you're rushing back there to just quickly see like how you do this, you know, little upstyle. You just do it, like you just make it work. But one thing that did sort of was a, you know, penny drop moment as well in terms of growing Instagram and building up, you know, more of like an editorial basis was I was really, really resistant to doing unpaid work. Because I'd done all of that when I was learning, and I was like, I don't really see the value in doing content creation. Like, why am I going to do work for free? I don't get it. Like, why am I going to go back to that? So I had to really change my mindset and figure out how, you know, how and why content was so important for my Instagram platform and what the outcome would be. And it was crazy how it changed. It literally was like from one thing to the next. Like I leveled my Instagram up real quick, and it was unreal. So putting out really beautiful content, which was, you know, not briefed by anyone else. It was completely on my own terms.
So you really,
so I had complete creative freedom around everything that I was doing. I was working with other creatives, which was amazing. And then you have this finished piece and you're looking at it and you're like, yes, I'm so satisfied with it. It doesn't even matter if it's not paid. But that post, you might get 10 clients that are booking you in from that.
That's amazing.
There's the value, and there's that.
So you invested your time, and it has paid off in the long run. Because,
correct. Yeah.
So
and this is it. Like any free time that I had, I was like content. Even like, for example, like really recently with coronavirus, that whole period that I had the time off, I was like, what am I going to do to like get the ball rolling as soon as we get back to work? Because who knows when that's going to happen as well.
And that's such a good question that you asked yourself. Like you took that initiative to be like, what am I going to do to,
Yeah, and literally as soon as like the ball started rolling again, it was like content to get fresh things out, look busy, get traction again, like keep the ball rolling. And like, that's really what it is. That's what Instagram's about. It's the consistency, it's the quality of the work you're putting out. And like I said, like the energy that you're putting into something, it's going to come back. if
I
you give
agree.
everything you have to doing something, it is going to come back in abundance. Like, it's
100%.
amazing. Like the law of attraction and
100%.
you know how powerful like manifesting is. Like,
So powerful.
I manifest so much about the work I want, the clients, like my ideal clients, the kind of brides that I want, or you know what kind of shoots and brands that I want to be working with, the kind of content that I want. Like, I'm constantly visualizing and I'm constantly putting that out there, and it's amazing how it works.
Powerful, hey?
It's so. I have to be really careful now. What I manifest. I have to be careful because it's crazy.
Yeah.
It happens real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's so funny you say that. I don't know if I'll put this in, we'll see. But I'm not kidding. I really wanted this rental property, this one.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything like this.
Right.
And I kid you not, I like literally sat like in my parents' garden and put like on meditation music, and I visualized like living here and like decorating it.
You manifested it.
And then I kid you not, they were saying no pets here. They were like in massive capital letters online, no pets, no pets. And I was like, I wanted so bad, because it was a really good price, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want it so bad. And I was like manifesting every day. I was meditating, visualizing me here. Yeah. And then I called the real estate and I was like, I'll do anything. I want more. I want like this place. Like I know I have pets, but like, what do I have to do? And then he was like, I'll talk to the owner.
There you go.
And then he spoke to the owner for me, and he's like, I actually gave you the best like recommendation. And he's like, you got it. And I was like, oh my God, like it worked. Like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like
visualization is
side story
so
for you,
powerful.
But yeah, it's so powerful.
Unbelievably powerful.
Yeah. So that's amazing that you swear by that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do that every day.
Oh wow! So what's your kind of routine for that, for manifesting? Do you do it while you're driving, or do you like make time for it? What do you do with your manifestation kind of?
Honestly, it's
or just whenever.
It could be any time and place in the day.
Oh yeah, that's
I could be driving. I could be outside with the dogs in the garden. I could be sitting down the couch just in complete silence. I could be cleaning, like vacuuming, and I'm like manifesting away. Like, what do I want?
Constantly thinking about what we want.
Constantly like dreaming and just like thinking big and like better. So with my bridal, I was like, how can I start doing destination weddings?
Oh, that's amazing.
And I was visualizing myself in Europe. I was visualizing myself doing weddings overseas. So then I had opportunities come like thick and fast, like Greece, Italy, Switzerland,
that's amazing.
Sweden, South Africa, Thailand, like everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening.
Let's talk about that in more detail. When did you start doing destination weddings? Because I know right now coronavirus, but when did you start doing that?
My first one was actually my best friend's sister's wedding in South Africa.
Oh wow!
So I was obviously a guest, but that was my first wedding. So that was 4 years ago.
Oh wow! So you've been doing destination weddings for a while.
Yeah. So that was my first experience. So that was hilarious getting my kit over there as well, because I was like, how am I going to get my entire kit over there? Yeah. So that was
how did you get through that?
Well, I took it on as my carry-on luggage.
Oh, but what about over the 100 mil?
They didn't. Well, that was
50 mil.
I made sure that was all fine.
Okay,
the 100 mil thing, all the big liquids were going in my big bag, but it weighed 16 kilos, and they didn't weigh it in Sydney Airport, so it was fine. I was literally like heaving this thing into the overhead locker. And everyone was like, this crazy girl, like getting this bag up there. And I was like, I can't let anyone else pick it up because they're going to know.
Oh, that's
But I didn't want to check it in, because otherwise that's my baby.
Oh my God, yeah, it's like your life.
Yeah. And then on the way back, I had huge problems, and they're like literally arguing with the cabin crew, being like, no, I'm not departing with this suitcase. They put it in the captain's.
Get out. Oh my God.
I was like, I'm not having it. So
that is
funny.
Insane. So could you not pay? Because I feel like when you can pay. Oh no, you can't. Not with carry-on. You can't pay extra to have it on there.
No. It's only like extra if you check it in. But anyway, this is all learning, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I'm asking you this, because it's good to like share this kind of these little things can be so actually helpful for someone else.
Totally. Yeah. But I think I would be a lot more I'm a lot more savvy now with how I pack and make sure everything's going to fit properly. And
I think sometimes when you're packing your kit, you overpack your kit.
Oh God,
and you're like, what if they need like a purple glitter eye? And then you pack like every purple glitter.
Literally. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I've got like a million lipsticks in there. What is going on?
Because you're like, I've got like 50 lipsticks, but I could mix.
Totally.
So that's so cool. Okay. Back to the destination wedding. So you did your friend's.
Yeah, so I did her wedding, and that was a huge success. It was beautiful, and it was really funny because I started posting, obviously, the images from the wedding and just content from the wedding.
That was
tagging,
obviously somewhere that was not in Australia. People could obviously see
correct.
that. Yep.
And hashtagging, you know, the city and the country and
so clever.
The actual estate, all of it. So people would be like inquiring from South Africa. So it was like coming through, and
That's
then
amazing.
yeah, and then even something as simple as changing my bio in my Instagram to destination, you know, I have bridal specialists and then I say that I do destination weddings. So people know that I'm happy to travel. So in your Instagram bio, if you're already like limiting what you're offering and where you're willing to go, then people aren't going to really, they're going to hesitate. So
I agree.
I'm like international, like everywhere, whatever you need. But yeah, it's crazy how things happen, and like even word of mouth, like people will be like, oh, so do you travel? Like, do you go to, you know, Europe, blah, blah, blah. Yes.
Yeah, again,
Get
you
me
say
over
yes
there.
to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like an amazing opportunity. Like you can make it a holiday. You can do so much out of that.
That's so true.
So,
I love that.
I'm like, Nick, pack your bags. You're coming in.
Yeah. Oh my God, your partner would be
Yeah.
so happy with that. He'd be like, good on you, Alex.
So funny, bless.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the bio thing, let's touch on that as well. What you have in your bio that you think helps attract all these things that you want to do. So everything you're doing, you want to be doing.
Correct.
I feel like your bio really is like helps drive that, you know,
Yeah.
to some extent.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got in your bio, what do you have in your bio at the moment? Like,
So it's what I specialize in and what services I want to be doing.
Yeah.
So I've got, you know, bridal specialist, because that's what I am specializing at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bridal work. That I do destination weddings, that I do like fashion editorial work, like photo shoots, and I think I had education in there, but I'm temporarily I've taken it down just because I'm finessing.
Yeah.
I'm just
Awesome.
figuring out a few things because I want to just develop a few things before I start advertising that again. So yeah, and then I've got my website there. I've got where I am located in Sydney, so people know where I'm based before they even inquire, because they might be, you know, an hour and a half away from me, and then they're like, well,
yeah,
it's a bit far.
Everyone's
like,
wasted
it's just
each other's time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Do you have how they can contact you? I find a lot of people might put no DMs or no email. What's your stance on that? What do you feel?
So originally I was like no DMs, but then again you're limiting how people
your
can
customer.
contact. Correct. Someone might, like, I even do it sometimes. I'll go on someone's Instagram if I want something, like booking, like I want
a cake or something.
a cake, or I would like flowers or anything. It's like I'll just DM them because I'm there on your profile. It's like I want to send you that photo because that's what I want.
Yeah. If you won't accept my DM, then you're really limiting the way I can communicate with you.
Correct. Well, you just
and then I'm less likely to communicate.
You're creating barriers around how people can contact you, and it's like you want your community to feel at ease in contacting you and not difficult. Like, oh, I have to like now type an email and what's the email address, even though you've got those tabs on Instagram.
That's
I just think like if you already like you've got a big no DMs, it's like that's like a negative feeling around it. It's like, well,
it's like
you don't want people to contact you.
Yeah. What I get from it is you, the business owner, don't want to sit and do your admin. Like, you don't want to do customer service.
Yeah.
So you don't want to sit down, answer your DMs. You don't want to sit down and answer your emails. You don't want to answer your text messages. You don't want to answer phone calls.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like put your phone number on there. Like, if you've got a business phone, put your phone number, put your email, answer DMs. Like, every way people can contact you, give them every option so they have no way of walking away from you.
Correct.
Right?
It's like you want to keep your clients and your customer bases there. Like, you don't want to be sending them away and then it's inconveniencing them because it's more time for them to inquire. It's
That's
like, it's
right.
annoying. It's like,
I agree.
Don't create those barriers. Just keep it open. Yes, sometimes Instagram can be hard to then find their Instagram name, but write it down.
Yeah.
Literally,
Like,
I just write it down if it, in my booking system.
That's what I do too.
Through my website. Like, I have all my bookings in there.
I say, before we proceed, can I grab your email?
I need
And
I need your
name.
email, I need your name, I need your contact number. Give me your details and I'll do the hard work for you.
That's right.
So it's like, just keep it open. Don't turn people away from doing, contacting you a certain way. Just leave it open.
Don't say no. If you don't have time to do it, set up automated answering machines. They've got that now, right?
You can do that.
If you can't answer DMs, I'm pretty sure through Facebook you can do automated answering. Yes. And it's like, look, I'm really busy.
Expect a response in 48 hours.
Time. Yeah. If you don't hear from me, I'm so sorry, but here's my phone number, here's my email.
Exactly.
Here's my website. You know what I mean? At least then they've got some form of like interaction with you.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I mean? Yeah, cool.
Exactly.
Okay, so I only asked about your bio because I feel like that's super important for people that are pushing their services through Instagram, like what you're doing. And
Yeah.
Okay, so I've noticed like you have had a lot of success in kind of the fashion industry, the beauty industry, with big brands and doing makeup work for their photo shoots and things like that,
Yeah.
maybe for campaigns or for website content. What advice would you give to others wanting to branch off into that kind of world?
Avenue, yeah.
Yeah.
So again, what you put out is what you're going to get back.
Yeah.
So if you have no experience in doing editorial, fashion or photo shoot work, set up a collaboration shoot. So start looking into the industry of people that you can do a test shoot with, organize a photographer, pay, like if even, you don't even need to really have a studio. Like we set up at my house sometimes.
Yeah.
Like literally for photo shoots, you know, photographers that I work with, they'll just set up their whole thing at my house or their house or whatever.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people they overanalyze something like that. Like what you're saying. They think, oh my God, if I'm going to do this collab, I need to hire a studio, you know.
There's like all these outlays and it's...
do it.
You don't need to... You completely... Like you're making it so complicated than what it actually is. Just have the vision, create a mood board of what you want to create, get people that can help you bring that vision to life. So get your hairstylist, get a model that you really want to work with, get a photographer, and then you can literally start putting content out there that's that sort of work that you want to be attracting. That would literally be the only advice that I can sort of give is like just start
collaborating,
doing
with
collabs,
other
people in the industry
professionals. Yeah,
getting professional photos.
Yeah. And how do these brands contact you? Do you find they contact through Instagram, through your email? How do they get in touch with you? And what kind of what are they kind of looking for, do you believe? So how do they get in touch with you, and what do you think they're looking for from you?
So generally they'll email.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be through a DM. But generally they'll be like, we're looking for an initial makeup and hair for this brand, which is generally just like a soft wave kind of in the hair, and then just a really beautiful bronzy makeup, which is a very Australian trend. You know, people like artists in Australia or the Australian industry is very well known for the bronzy, you know, makeup and that gorgeous like beach wave.
Yeah.
So a lot of the brands that will be looking to work with you will want that aesthetic.
Okay, so that's really valuable. So
that's just one example.
That's what So I guess it depends on what brands you want to work with, right?
Yeah, but I think one experience will then open up so many different doors. Like as soon as, you know, brands seeing that you're working with brands and that you have experience doing photo shoots and you've had experience on set and all those kind of things, it's all relevant. So kind of just getting that experience of just doing as many test shoots as you can and just putting that out there, even on your website and just everything, just getting that content out. Yeah,
awesome. One question we'll ask you, a lot of collaborations you do, you work with different photographers. So do you find a model and then you also find a photographer? Is that what you do? Is that how you kind of work? Or do you just go, I'll get a model and I'll take photos with my iPhone? Or do you just kind of mix it up?
Bit of both.
Yeah,
okay,
cool.
So a bit of both.
So you recommend touching base with some photographers and try and collab with them as well?
Yeah, so some of the time, well actually most of the time on my Instagram page, the photos are taken on my iPhone.
Oh wow, okay.
So pretty much every single photo that I'll post is taken on my phone.
Oh wow.
So generally that means that you don't necessarily need a photographer to be taking your photos. But for example, a photographer that I love to work with, Jessica Kuda. Love you, Jess.
She's amazing, yeah.
She's a beauty photographer. And I remember I reached out to her and I was like, Jess, you know, I'm Alex and I really want to do some test shoots with you. And she was a bit like, oh, like what's it for? Is it for your website? Is it like, what is it? She wasn't doing it. So I was like, let's just get content. And she was like, okay. And then we met and we got on like a house on fire. She's a really good friend of mine now.
Oh, awesome.
And we shoot together as much as we can. And then Jess and I will literally just tee up a day of when we're both free in our schedule, and then we'll organise either a model or a few models and just get really beautiful content. We'll get a hairstylist on board.
That's amazing.
So generally the initial conversation will start with me and the photographer. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of see what who else is available, if we can get someone to do hair and you know what models we want to work with and what's the aesthetic and what do we want to create, because obviously the vision that you have will be sort of that's the forefront, and then the model she needs to fit in with what you're creating. Needs to have the look of what you want to do.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, I think the best way to start if you're wanting to start doing more shoots would be to speak to a photographer that you build a really great relationship with, and then you can continue that work.
Okay, yeah, that's super valuable. I love that. Okay, cool.
Building relationships is super important. Building rapport, and like even with like your clients, like just having a relationship where it's building up your network. It's building your community. So I speak to people all the time. I'm literally like, my partner gets so upset with me. He's like, why are you always on your phone? Yeah. But I'm constantly communicating with everyone. I'm networking, I'm touching base with people, and it's just how it goes, isn't it?
And I think it's so incredible how well connected you can be to the industry just through Instagram. I know we talk a lot about Instagram, but I feel like our industry just really
it's super relevant.
is really relevant. And it's just so driven through Instagram. But I think you're so right. I find
you need to create presence.
You need to be in your DMs and talking to other industry professionals that are relevant to what you're doing. Yeah. And it's hard when you got a partner and they're kind of like, why are you always on your phone? But yeah, it's like business, right?
Yeah. And this is the thing, like Instagram is literally like a business in itself.
Oh,
so not
100%.
only are we taking our own clients, but we're constantly creating content for our Instagram. We're constantly, on there creating
100%
presence and building relationships and, interacting with people. And it's literally like a full-time job.
It really is.
So
I agree with that.
Social media it's never ending, but it's so great. I actually love it. I love social media. It's so much fun.
A lot of people do, well, some people, tend to say it can be negative to be on it so much, but I think when you're using it as a tool for your business, and that's what you focus on, I don't think it becomes less negative, right? So like if you don't let yourself get caught up with, I don't look like that girl, I don't look like this girl.
Well, this is the thing.
If you can really have like tunnel vision and go, I'm jumping on Instagram, I'm going to like for instance, how we teed up this, I'm like, I'm going to jump on Instagram, I'm going to message Alex and see if she wants to come here.
Yeah.
That was my purpose for jumping on Instagram that day. You know what I mean? I wasn't going, I'm going to scroll through my feed and compare myself to others, which I do. I'm guilty of doing. But it
can be easy to do that for sure.
It can be so easy. So that's that kind of negative side. But you can definitely turn it into a positive and use it as a tool for communication to people like you. And
absolutely.
It was so easy for us to organise this.
Yeah.
So, I can't stress enough how important
it's super important
to be in your DMs and networking and things. I want to ask you more about, you did tell me about how you had some difficulties with the business side of your makeup business.
Yeah.
But what are some things that you think you're doing that are positive towards your business now? So things like customer service, admin, bookings, like managing your bookings. How do you manage your bookings? Keeping your website up to date, things like that.
So this was all trial and error for me. I had no one helping me.
Yeah.
And that was probably my fault because I didn't ask for the help. I found this quite challenging because I had no experience aside from obviously my experience from Mecca, but it's a bit different when you're running your own business for yourself. Keeping on top of, all your inquiries, making sure that you're booking these people in, updating your website constantly. Actually, I had no website until
recently.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? You were using
I think
Instagram mainly.
Last year was literally when I launched my website, and that was it made a huge difference.
It does make a difference.
Huge difference. I constantly get notifications of people accessing my website all the time. But my phone is going off, and I'm like, wow, like people still use websites, but it levels up that sort of presence that you have, and credibility, being professional. So definitely like have a website. And this is another thing that, is really great to have all those really professional images from all those shoots that you're doing. You can put them on your website. So the business side of it, I really struggled at first. To the point, like even like figuring out like, I need an ABN and I should have a business, account, like a, bank account.
Bank account, yeah.
How I can move, my clients from accessing me and booking me only through texts and emails to them being able to online book. So it was like this huge like navigation process of me figuring out how I could improve my business, like the admin side of it, to make it less time consuming for me. So now I just try and do my emails a little bit every day. So I'll like allocate a bit of time every day, whether it's in the morning before I start work or, you know, in the afternoon. I'll just chip away at it. So I'm not leaving it to then like
one day
I've
where
got
you've
100 emails to get through and I've got one day to get it done, and then I'm, you know, sitting there. And sometimes that does happen, but just, you know, in the nature of how, you know, my schedule is. But just chipping away at it a little bit here and there, and constantly, yeah, just like if your clients are contacting you, like brides are constantly contacting me, so I have to, you know, make them feel comfortable and make sure that I'm in communication with them.
I agree.
It's all part of your brand and, you know, your credibility in the industry. So
yeah, no. So I definitely think it's so valuable to have a website in conjunction with any social platforms that you are using to advertise yourself. It just adds credibility. Like, you know, people can see your Instagram, but then they can Google you and see that you know, everything matches up nicely. It's just a really good way to continue kind of your online presence really professionally.
I think so too,
yeah, that's really good. I appreciate you talking to me about all those little like insights to your business and everything like that. It's really been helpful, and I've actually learned like a lot about you, and then a lot about like some other little tricks that I could be doing. So thank you for that. But I want to actually ask you about makeup. So tell me, what are your 3 favorite products at the moment and why?
So I can't talk about this enough. Probably like everyone on Instagram would know this by now, but the By Terry CC Lumi Serum.
Oh, yeah.
It's a brightening serum texture, which is like a primer.
Oh,
and
wow.
It literally just brings life to the skin. So I love really healthy looking skin. So that beautiful, like, even complexion, but then you have that really natural, healthy glow. This product, it just does that.
Okay,
It literally just does it. And it's all skincare based as well. So it's not super active or anything like that, but it's got, you know, rose stem cells in there. So it smells beautiful. It really, it like gives your skin energy. It's amazing. It's like brings it to life.
And do you use that on your clients?
Me and my clients.
Yeah.
You know, even like that bronzy, like gorgeous, like glow kind of makeup. That's what I'm putting on for sure.
Oh, wow.
I'm like all over.
Oh, that's amazing.
Get it on. It's amazing. So under foundation, I love that product.
Oh, you love that under foundation?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
So it's a primer.
Okay.
Sometimes like in summer, if you just want to pop something on just to look really fresh, you can use that.
Good for that. Oh, wow. I haven't tried that. I'll have to try that. Okay.
It's amazing.
And what are some other 2 that you really
I
like
love soap brows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a big trend, and it has been a big trend, I'd say, for like the last year and a half, 2 years. But soap brows, I found out about that product through Nikki Makeup.
Oh, yeah.
So she's a beautiful celebrity makeup artist, if you guys aren't aware of who she is. And she uses soap brows, and I was like, what is this product? So it's literally from like Manila or something, and I ordered it, and I was like, this is amazing. But obviously you can use like Pears soap or whatever.
Yeah, I've tried that before.
It's basically like a soapy, waxy kind of texture, which gives the brow almost like that lamination effect to the brow.
Super in trend.
Yeah. So I love that. It's just really natural, and it just gives that beautiful, fluffy brow.
That would be great for your editorial work that you do.
Yeah. And another product that I'm loving at the moment, there's so many, I'm like, they're like my babies. I love all of them.
Oh, yeah. It's so hard, hey, to pick. Yeah.
I love nude sticks.
I haven't tried
cream, they're so brilliant because they're a multi-purpose product.
Okay.
So there's different products in the range, but the nudies, the all over colour, which is the nudies matte, you can use them on the eyes, cheeks, and lips.
Wow, and
so it's amazing
for
that
different shades and stuff.
Yeah. There's so many different colours, like bronzers. There's you know, the cheek colours you can use on the lips as well. I just think makeup that has, you know, those beautiful like harmonious tones, it's just so flattering. You just cannot go wrong when you're using the same undertones of products
for each colour item.
That's right. So like in the eyes, in the cheeks,
like in
the lip,
it's just kind of tone.
Monochromatic looks just my favourite.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, it looks really natural. It looks like the colours have come like from nature rather than like you've applied them to someone. Yeah, and I think that's great for
it's so nice. Like when you're looking at something and it's got all the like. Yeah, that monochromatic sort of look, it's all harmonious. It's so aesthetically pleasing. You're like, wow, it's beautiful. There's not too much going on there, but it all just like comes together beautifully. It's my favourite. So yeah, the nudies, matte products from Nude Sticks. They're amazing.
Oh,
love them.
I love that. I'm going to go and look. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try those products.
Give them a go.
Before we finish up, I just have to ask you, have you got anything that you're working on at the moment that you want to talk about, or anything in the pipeline? What can we expect from Alex in the next coming months or the next year?
So it's been quite funny because education was sort of something that I was like dabbling in a few years ago, and now it's done a full circle and everyone's like, are we doing a masterclass soon? Are you doing lessons? And I was doing lessons, one-on-one lessons for like personal and for makeup artists, but I've just sort of temporarily stopped, offering that service at the moment, just because I want to develop that part of my business.
And that's really good,
because it's been on such high demand. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
There's going to be, I think, a masterclass would be great if I could do that next year.
I think so.
Depending on COVID and, if we can do that, if that's something that's going to be...
I know, that's the thing. That's what's strange, isn't it?
But that would be amazing if I could do something like that, because I think that would be amazing. And then, just developing my education and what I have to offer for my one-on-one lessons.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. I think your education aspect of your business would be in high demand at the moment with all your editorial and collab photo shoots that you've been doing on your Instagram. I think a lot of people are super interested to just hear some little tips and tricks on how you kind of glam models and create photo ready makeup looks. I think that's hard to actually create makeup that looks great on camera as well as in real life, or vice versa, right? So that's definitely valuable. I think you should definitely do that. It would be amazing. I would love to come. Oh my God.
You'll be there.
I'll be there. I'll buy a ticket for sure. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay,
it'll be
awesome.
good. So that's sort of what's in the pipeline.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Alex, for coming and chatting with me today. It's been so insightful, like just learning about even how you started. Like, I think sometimes you see people like yourself who have been quite successful and you just go, oh, they just kind of got there, but then you realize there's a whole life story behind it. And it's really nice to unpack it and like learn about you in more detail.
I'm so glad.
And like I feel like I got so much out of that.
I'm so glad. Thanks so much for having me.
Sitting with me.
It's been so nice.
I am super excited and grateful with my chat with Alex today. I learned so much about Alex's story to success, gained some new business tips I can implement in my own businesses, and added some new makeup products to my wish list. Alex has a truly inspiring story and her mindset is so beautiful and positive. I love that she always says yes to every opportunity and then learns how to execute afterwards. Her give it a go attitude is motivating as well. Here are 3 things I have learned from Alex. Find your why and you'll always have something to motivate you. Make your career something you're passionate about. Be consistent with your marketing and branding and don't be afraid to try showing off some of your personal brand, or pull back and only showcase your work when it is needed online to get the correct clients for your business. Thank you so much for listening today, guys. Please stay tuned for the next episode where I will be chatting with Yasmin, also known as Dollface by Yaz on Instagram. Thank you.